Bismillah and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. So, by the way, my name is Teng Teng B. Maute, third year college BS Ed students from 307. So, I'm going to report about the main content of the emergence of structuralism. So, before I'm going to start to my report, I'm going to define what is structuralism first. So, structuralism is one of the most influential intellectual movement in the 20th century, which embraces a wide variety of intellectual disciplines, linguistics, aesthetics, anthropology, sociology, and psychoanalysis. So, structuralism or structures talks about sign. So, what is sign? Sign is a combination of two things, the signified and signifier. So, what is signified? Signified, it is the thing that it signifies, while the signifier is a sound or a word. So, for example, you draw a cat and you write a word cat. So, the signifier there is the word cat, while the signified is the drawing is the cat that you draw. So that is the thing that it signifies. So the next one is new criticism. So what is new criticism? So new criticism, it was a formalist movement and literary theory that dominated American literary criticism in the middle decades of the 20th century. It emphasized close reading, particularly of poetry, to discover how a work of literature functioned as a self-contained, self-referential, aesthetic object. So, in new criticism class, new criticism doesn't questions you, doesn't ask you where is the meaning of a text, or it doesn't care. For instance, meaning might be in what the author is thinking or intending as he is writing the piece. Meaning might be in the work itself or might be in the reader who interprets the work. New criticism, the first step of in or the best most important of new criticism is close reading. You see, if the meaning is found in the text, you really need to read it carefully to understand it. And if you don't read carefully, then you're going to miss its true meaning. In new criticism class, it cares what the text says. After all, it is a little difficult to say. So, Ferdinand de Saussure. Ferdinand de Saussure is the father of modern linguistics because he talks about modern linguistics. So, the great originality of Ferdinand de Saussure's approach was to treat language as a self-regulating or self-contained rather than a referential system of signs. The general linguistic model derives from Ferdinand de Saussure's insight that a language is not a nomenclature or a list of names of things, but a system of signs consisting of a signifier and signified. For Ferdinand de Saussure, signs do not designate an external reality or referent and are meaningful only because of the similarities and differences that exist between them. So, Claude Lévi-Strauss. Claude Lévi-Strauss holds that cultures, like languages, could be viewed as systems of signs and could be analyzed in terms of the structural relations among their elements. So, by the late 1940s, Claude Lévi-Strauss was applying the lessons of Copernican revolution. He called Copernican revolution, brought about by structural linguistics to the analysis of both kinship, system, and mythology. So, in literary domain, structuralism is a very productive theory. The structuralist theory of literature, elaboration of broad typologies of narratives, and narrative grammars. Narrative grammars is to explore and classify the workings of literature. Literary structuralism. So, literary structuralism views literary texts as systems of interlocking signs and seeks in a scientific way the rules and codes that govern the form, content of all literature. So, Ferdinand de Saussure also Ferdinand de Saussure, he made a distinction between the signifier and the thing signified. In his course in General Linguistics 1916, Saussure held that language is a structural social system that was coherent, orderly, and susceptible to understanding and explanation as a whole. He also made use of two significant terms, which is the parole and langue. So parole, by which he meant it is the speech of the individual person, and the langue, it is the complete or collective language or a set of rules which community use as it used at any particular time. According to Ferdinand de Saussure, the proper object of linguistic study is not the individual utterances or parole, but language. The distinct system of signs. In his conception, language is a system of contrast, distinctions, and ultimately opposition, since the elements of language never exist in isolation, but always in relation to one another. This became the basis of his synchronic view or language. So, remember, class, that structuralism is above all a method, and the new criticism is concerned about text. So, these are the references that where I've gathered some information about the emergence of structuralism and about Ferdinand de Saussure. So, literary criticism module, which is our module in class, and Edu Academia, Google, Facebook, Pello Notes, YouTube channel, and some YouTube blogs about structuralism. So, I hope, sir, that you understand my point and my report. Thank you and wassalam.